If you want to quit, learn to rest. Last week was just not it for me. I was feeling pretty down because of life in general, many things that happened recently, and I stopped posting. I didn't post and I was feeling bad about it, but I just couldn't make myself film a video. This video isn't about productivity, or I'm not going to tell you, oh, you gotta ignore your emotions and still be disciplined, ignore motivation or something like that. But because the quote says, if you want to quit, learn to rest. I won't say I wanted to quit last week, but when it comes to making content, but I generally was not feeling like making any video. There was a very specific day when I was in bed and I was telling a friend, today I feel so sad. I don't want to do anything. I really don't want to do anything. I just want to stay in bed. I don't want to move. And she was like, you can do that. You don't have to do the things. You can rest. You can maybe take a nap. Of course, it's not like you can stop the world from happening. Life keeps going on, and things, if you're in school, you got a job, if there's stuff you gotta do, sometimes you just gotta do it. But the point here is that I remember something my therapist told me last year, and it was, if you're sad, allow yourself to be sad. But the tiny key here is that you gotta set yourself a timer. And I know this doesn't sound quite nice to set a timer for you to be sad, but what my therapist was trying to teach me is that she said, and I quote, sadness is addictive. So if you allow yourself to be sad without a limit, without a boundary, then you might as well just be sad for the whole day, for the whole week, for the whole month. So what she was teaching me was that yes, it's very important that you allow yourself to be sad, to feel any emotion that you're going through, but to just set a timer, like, okay, I'm gonna cry my heart out for 10 minutes and then I'm going to get up and do something that I like. For example, in my case, it's baking, it's dancing, it's singing a song, it's just getting my body moving, because that usually helps me. But then I realized this also applies to when you reach burnout. I don't really remember since when this started being a thing, but like grind season, like grind era, just like lock in, be super productive all the time, non-stop. That's amazing, but all of that also requires you to rest. If you're not sleeping properly, if you're not doing self-care items, if you're not taking care of yourself, then no matter if you're locked in, no matter how much you're grinding, you are going to hit a very low point. You're gonna reach burnout, and you don't want that. So I think this is just a friendly reminder that everyone needs to rest. And I know when I say rest, you're probably thinking about sleeping. Yes, that's important, but it goes beyond that. It's about taking care of yourself in many ways. If you're not eating properly, if you're not moving your body, just stretching or just giving yourself a hug even, it's very important that we all learn to rest, because we need it. Part of who we are, we're humans, we need to rest and we need to take care of ourselves. So I just wanted to share that, because I was being too hard on myself last week. I was feeling super bad, I was feeling so sad, I was feeling terribly discouraged, but on top of that, I was being too hard on myself because I was feeling that way. So I was like, there's no way you feel this, you gotta get up, lock in, and start doing things, be productive. What are you doing in bed all day? Objectively, I was not in bed all day, but I was being too hard on myself for just resting. And that's where you can tell it became something negative and something toxic towards myself, because sometimes you just need to rest. You need to allow your brain to breathe for a second. So if you're going through something like this, just take this as a gentle and friendly reminder. I hope you're all okay, and remember that you got this. Thank you for watching. Bye.